And I'm going to set the view to be whoever's speaking. So when
Yeah,
I'm speaking, hopefully this will show up. And when you speak, you'll show up. Okay.
to be honest, I really didn't have any questions. I was just here to help out with the bookmark thing that you wanted to you to help with.
Okay. All right. Hang on. Let me lower this and let me go into the ebook, and I can actually I'll share what I'll do is I'll share my screen. And yeah, man, if you can. So this is the book. It's the
Hmm.
ebook. So if I want to, let's say we're in, chapter one, it goes right to that because I always am looking at that.
Right.
But so let's say I want to mark, this exercise set as a bookmark. How would I do that?
Um,
This
if
little
you go to
pen.
yeah, it'll be that.
But the thing about having a bookmark there, that's nice. But then how do I find that bookmark amongst many, many bookmarks?
Yeah, I'm trying to get to, I'm trying
Can
to
I,
get to that
if I
myself.
right click that, I wonder if I can like label it.
It should be um
There's like I can do notes. A student told me this. He said, if you select some text,
right.
then I can add a note. Like let's say I select exercise set 1 point. I guess I can't make a note there. But if I say that, then I can add a note. Um, I could put like section 1.2 exercises, start here. Then if I want to see all my notes,
Oh, where'd I get to here?
now this is the professor view. It might be a little different for you.
No,
Okay, the
it's
note is right there, but the thing is, I want to be able to see all my notes.
yeah. I it this view is totally different. I had that view, but I think I did something different than I did
Well,
last time.
well, if you go up to this upper left-hand corner where these three horizontal bars are and
Yeah.
touch that, it'll take you back to the table of contents for chapter one if you're in chapter one,
Hmm.
and then maybe you can find what you want to find there. Did that help you?
Mm, no, it didn't.
You
I,
mean you
I,
don't
I,
you don't see a little menu up here like when you're on a page, you don't see that menu? Maybe you
I,
were in the full book. Did you?
I'm in a full book. That's what it is, I think.
You're in the full book. And why do they make the full book small? Is your full book small like that?
No, I mean, I have like a 49-inch computer screen, so
But
it's
it
really
seems
not.
like I should have the option to make, like change the width or size of the full book relative to the other book.
Yeah, that's weird.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
Like it just makes it so small, but I want the full book to maybe if I close that and then open the full. No, it's still
No.
really small. That's really frustrating.
Yeah. I'm. Oh,
Here,
now it's telling me I timed out.
oh, wait a minute. There's
Yeah,
those
that
full.
that button would do it.
There we go.
Yep.
Now, now there's one other thing that I would love to learn how to do, and you will earn extra credit for just taking the time to try to help me with this.
Hmm.
I would like, how it's nice to be able to scroll through a book instead of using these stupid things that are slow,
Uh-huh.
right?
Hmm.
Do you know how to set a scroll? Like I'd like to be able to just scroll through this chapter
You see.
rather rather than using these little page turners. Is there a way to set it for scroll?
Yeah, if you actually switch that from, well, no, that's
I'm in the full book right now. It doesn't have to be the full book, but that's what
okay.
I'm in.
I think I'm gonna eat. Is that the eText book or is that the full?
It's the
I'm
full
in
book. I'm in the
yeah,
full book right now.
I'm in the eText book, so it's a little different for me.
All right, well, hang on. Let me get out of the full book. Now I'm in the now I'm in, sort of the default, the ebook,
Right.
but I still can't scroll. It's still this. So what is my option for, maybe I'll just ask a question. Print,
Yeah.
dad. Keep an eye out for footnotes, enlargeable. No, I want to scroll. I just would like to use I've got like a mouse, that's just like anybody's mouse, with this
Yep.
wheel. I would
Trying to
love to be able to scroll through the book. I wonder if
teach
that
this.
feature just isn't available. I'm going to talk to the publisher and see if we can get them to include
Okay.
that.
All right. And also the bookmark thing.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. So under annotations, I don't know if you have that.
Okay, so annotations, let's see. Listen, this is font size, I bet. So let's see, my notes. Is that what you mean by annotations?
No, it will save my annotation. So since I'm on the ebook, it's
I'm
just
in
totally
the
different.
ebook. I'm in the ebook. And I don't have that. See, here's my menu over here. I can make notes. I can go to the full book. I can get it to read it to me. There's a glossary and I can do flashcards, but there is not an annotation. So let me go to the full book and see if there's a full book option. Now, how did I make it so that the full book was
Yeah.
bigger? Like
Yeah.
where to go? Where'd that option go to make the full book bigger? Wait
Yeah.
a minute.
Like
Maybe
I have
I have to close this thing and then the full book gives me the option to make it big. Isn't that weird? I
yeah.
have to close. You see what I'm saying?
Hmm.
I can't be on a page in the ebook and get this option to make the full book big, but I still don't have annotations.
See, I'm on my actual PC in my on my laptop when I had it in the classroom, it has
Uh-huh.
that view. On my
It,
PC, it's totally different. Like
that is crazy.
everything, I have everything on the top right hand corner of it. So when I bookmark, I just go to annotations, and it'll tell me where everything I bookmark, and there's like three dots at the end of it, and
Uh-huh.
it'll tell you you can delete it or you can open in Reader.
Open in the reader.
Right. So that's the annotation part of it, like my annotations.
If you open it in the reader.
Right. So I'm gonna
So
back.
where's the open in the reader option?
Yeah, that's the problem. I'm trying to see if I
Open
can
in,
get to your.
what, look at this. I right clicked and it says open in reading mode. Let me
No,
try.
that's not it.
That's something else. That's
It's
something
something else.
more
Yeah.
general
Hmm.
for, dadgummit. Well,
Uh,
I've always got questions every semester. I try to learn just a little bit more. But notice how I don't even have the option to put a bookmark in the full book.
yeah.
I've got the option to put notes and flashcards, but I don't even now have the option to put a tab in that
Let me see if I could.
in the full book.
Summary
How
question.
frustrating. That's
Yeah.
not, they ought to give us the same options for every format. Now that's my humble opinion, which isn't
See
so
if this
humble.
pops up. Okay.
I can,
Now I got it. It was an. There's two totally different views of this.
there are two,
Um.
you're saying you
Yeah.
have two totally different
Yeah.
views.
There's two different views. So if you really want, you'll probably have to exit out of this.
Exit out of that.
Yep. Like go to the main. I would say the main menu because when I went into
Like, like you mean the Cengage main menu or
yes, Cengage main menu.
oh, good Lord. Let's see if I can just get back to the Cengage main menu. Let's see.
Because right, I'm in, we see a home, and then I would click on,
I'm going to go to Cengage.com. All right, so here's Cengage. Sign in.
mhm,
So I'm going to sign in. My home. I think my courses might be what I want.
right.
And then you just click on the course. It's the same book for both courses, so it shouldn't matter for me.
Yeah, it's weird because I had two different views. So
Uh,
under,
ebook, ebook or communicate class schedule.
I would say ebook.
Yeah, sure. the kind of the should be like the main menu. And then
That still
what?
popped up.
Yeah, that still pops up.
That's wild because I just had two different. I just got to the different view for. I'm on that view particularly,
Uh-huh.
but there was another one where you can actually just go and um, there's a totally different view from this.
Yeah, like there should be a view where you can put a page number in.
Yeah.
I think here if you just put the page, I think isn't that stupid? I'm gonna put page, 17.
Hmm.
You can't see that that's what I typed, but I'm typing page 17. And that's insanely slow.
Right.
Like Pearson, look, no results. That's crazy. So there should be a way to get to a certain page, theoretically.
Right.
But the
Flashcards,
way
glossary.
the best that they do is they have this little, menu, up
Right.
here where it'll give you the subcategories within, the subsections and sub-subsections within a chapter. Like
Yep.
the four check sections in chapter one. So if I go to, to the beginning of it, the other publishers have like a little box down here that tells you what page you're on.
Yeah.
And it's really nice because then you can just type a page number in. For example, this is Cengage. Pearson has a pagination option. Now, but I don't think it's there in the full book either. And again, if I want to see the whole full book, I have to close that down, and then the full book gets big. Okay, there
Right.
it is. Go to page. So if I
Hmm.
put 17 in there, it will go to page 17, but I have to be in the full book. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
So I guess with every ebook, we have to figure out what's going on. Hang on, let me
Uh,
check I'm going to use my iPad and check, hang on. I'm going to get my iPad. I have three devices here and check email because I don't want to touch the phone, because
yeah.
it's the thing I'm using to zoom in. Hang on, I'll be right back. Let me get the iPad. Now I'm wondering if she's in linear algebra, and she didn't tell me what class she was. I wonder if she's a linear algebra student, and then she's sitting over there waiting in the other o- office
Wait a
hours.
minute. I think I just got into it. Yeah. So bookmarks. I figured it out. The
Oh, okay. Hang on just a sec. Let me just type. Okay, I'm ready.
all right. So go ahead and click on the I guess I would exit out of that part, but
Okay,
it's
I'm
under
gonna
once you
right. Okay.
yeah. So once you just click on whatever chapter you wanna or
Okay.
whatever page you wanna
I'll
go
just stick
to.
with, the first chapter since we're
Right.
in. Okay.
Click on the bookmark
Okay.
and then click on my notes and then bookmarks should pop up.
Oh, look at how many. Oh, that's awesome. So I can see bookmarks. So if you have a whole lot of them,
Yeah, it'll pop up.
so I guess what I'm going to do is I'm going to I'm going to delete, some of them. Okay. So now does that mean I can't really edit the way they title it?
Right.
But at least I can see them.
Right. But
That's awesome.
if you bookmark that particular page,
Uh-huh.
it'll have it there, but if you click on it, it'll go directly to it.
I love it. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, that's awesome. And then in the notebook,
It's whatever you want to do, I
oh,
guess.
Evernote. Yeah, okay, I'm not doing that. Okay, highlights. Yeah, I actually tried highlighting, remember?
Hmm.
I'm gonna just
Which you
delete
can't.
that,
Obviously you can.
I mean,
Yeah.
things to highlight would be things like definitions, I think.
Hmm.
and theorems.
See what they got for maybe accessibility or
All right. Accessibility is usually
yeah, it's not really showing anything.
like I think the extent of their accessibility here is like the read speak thing.
Yeah,
Now the glossary, definitely go ahead and you know we should be able to add some glossary terms. Like wouldn't that be handy to be able to add some glossary terms? I wonder.
yeah, it would be.
I mean, because come on, like I told everybody, you really need a separate notebook for definitions, but flashcards are good.
Yeah,
There are no flashcards. Make your own flashcards. So that might be a good thing to do.
right.
And I wonder if I make a card, if everybody could see it.
Yeah. So yeah, if you create a
Uh,
cre yeah, I think if you do it, it'll
let's
definitely show.
try it.
Yeah.
Let's try it. Uh, set. So the definition is going to be because it's key term and definition.
Hmm.
Uh, set is a collection of objects called elements. I'm just going to use all caps since underline looks like a pain. All right, now, so when you go to flashcards, do you see that?
Yeah, same thing. I'm actually typing it up, so I guess it
Well,
gives me time to everything that you showed us in class.
uh-huh.
I'm just gonna put it on flashcards and go from there because it'll be easier.
That is such a great idea. And I think definitions are the things to put on flashcards because
Yeah.
check it out. There it is. And then you flip the card and it gives you the definition.
Yep.
Oh, I'm loving it. Now, may I ask, can you see the ones that I added? Let me look at settings. Print current upload from CSV. Nah, you have to make your own.
Yeah, you gotta make your own.
But this would be a good exercise for us to work on in class, and then people go to their is this the full book? No, this is just the ebook, right?
Yep. Hmm.
Right. This would be a good exercise, like if we when we write definitions in class, like we had numerous definitions, proper subset, right?
Right.
Like every time you see the DEFN in the
Hmm.
class notes, you could make a flashcard for it.
Yeah.
That's a, and I wonder if you can um doesn't seem like if I make another card, I'm going to make another card and I'm going to see if there are options for grouping cards. Uh, Subset. And I wonder how we use math. I guess to insert math, we might write it out and then upload an image.
Right.
Given, you know what I mean? Like there's no math editor. That is one of the big downsides I've noticed of all of these types of programs for math is a lot of times they don't include a good math editor. Given sets A and B, we say A is a subset of B. And now I would like to include denoted by and use the symbol.
Yep.
Hang on. Let's see if I can do it with the pen. Denoted by. All right, so if I use this, oh, it doesn't have, that's not really a pen. That's notes. Uh, Ah, darn it. See, you see what I'm saying.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Uh,
As far as that goes, is hmm, like any symbols and stuff. I'm pretty sure if you can just type it up in Word, then copy and paste it there because Word has math symbols too. If you have the add-on for it.
yeah, I wonder if it'll use LaTeX. LaTeX for the math, it's a money symbol,
Hmm.
and then it would be subset equal, but I doubt it's going to work without me downloading some packages.
Yeah, I had added it uh,
If
maybe sometime. I
but
was doing statistics and I added it then.
you've added images. Every
Not images, but well, let me see if I can even add any.
Hey, Sunita. Yeah, the subset equal. Um, that's the math typesetting program that I use for special homework and tests and quizzes and stuff.
Yeah,
And in some programs, you can just write the code and it'll automatically.
right. Like character map or something.
Yeah, it's a typesetting program. It's actually a programming language called LaTeX, and
Okay,
it's typically what is used for mathematics and science. You know, if you're writing papers or whatever.
right.
So, Sunita, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear me. I'm sorry. I was on
You're
mute.
fine. Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. We're just practicing learning to make
Yes, sir.
flashcards in the ebook.
Okay, so yeah,
Reading.
like the first day class, I mean second day class, I guess confused. I don't know. Like maybe I feel like it's gonna be like harder, little hard for me. So I wanna get like tutoring hour and then the every like office hour because I really need to understand that. Yeah.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what, do you have any specific questions that you would like? And using these features will help you, you know?
Okay. Okay.
So what we're in is we're just in the book, the ebook, not see there's a full text, the
Okay.
full book, or just the book that you get to from Cengage Home, the ebook, you know.
Yes,
Like
ma'am.
when you go into WebAssign, there's a little tiny menu there, and you can click on ebook from there. But when you're in the book, you can just use uh, tabs, bookmarks,
Hmm.
and then if you go to My Notes, this is what James just showed me. Then it shows you all your bookmarks for different
Okay.
sections and stuff. And then I was practicing with flashcards, and I've made a couple of flashcards, um, subset and set. But I was kind of wondering if there was a way to organize those, but I'll have to, it doesn't look like that. It just looks like it's settings, key term, print deck, upload from CSV. No. Okay, do you have a specific question on something that we covered in class? That's the best way to come to office hours is, with a question. Do you have a question
Um,
from
so
anything we covered?
so I got like I'm just on the yeah, because this is my like I think let me see. So I think yeah, I'm gonna be like I'm gonna follow you and then I will ask like something if I didn't understand.
Well, we were just playing around with the ebook. That's all we were doing.
Yeah.
We were just practicing looking in the ebook. But you know what? There is something I can show you. Let's go to exercise set 1.2. I will share my screen again because there are some really good problems here in this exercise set 1.2. In particular, I even wrote this in the notes. We could play the element of and subset of game here with number 9. Shall we, we can practice with some of these exercises. Would you like to do that?
Okay.
All right, so let's work on number 9. So part A says, is 3 an element of the set containing 1, 2, and 3? What do you think?
Mm, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
Mhm.
this is the deal. For one thing, the answer is there. It says yes, but it'd be
That's
good to understand, why.
That's why, because the second class also I don't really understand about the element and then that's every
Well,
yeah.
this symbol, element of,
Mhm.
this epsilon, it means does this object, it's the numeral 3, sit inside these set brackets with a comma between it and other objects that sit there? And the answer is yes, because look, this set here has got 3 elements. 1 is an element, 2 is an element, and 3 is an element. So 3 is an element of the set that contains 1, 2, and 3. Does that make sense?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, element of just means it sits inside the set brackets, or it's described by the description if it's a descriptive notation, and there it sits, it's inside the set. So let's take a look at B. I think that this is one of the questions that I asked in class. Is the number 1 a subset of the set containing 1? And the reason the answer to that is no, because the number 1 is not a set at all, so it can't be a subset. You see what I mean?
Yes, ma'am.
This symbol means subset of. So that means this object on the left would have to be some kind of set for us to even ask, answer that question further. See what I mean? Like it automatically isn't a subset because it's not even a set. But 1 is an element of the set containing 1. These sets that contain just a single element are called singleton sets. So 1 is an element of that set, but it's not a subset. Let's look at C. It says, is the set containing 2 an element of the set that contains 1 and 2? And so the answer is nope, because the elements of this set are just the number 1 and the number 2. This object, which is set bracket, number 2, close set brackets, is a set. Sets can be elements of other sets, but this is not an element of this particular set because the elements of this set on the right are the numbers 1 and 2, and neither of those is a set. Neither of those is the singleton set containing 2. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
It might help if we look at the next one.
The subset and the 11 really confusing for me.
Sure. Yeah, it takes a while, and that's why we practice. But check this out. This statement is that the set containing 3 is an element of this set on the right. What are the elements of this set on the right? There are 3 of them. Well, the first element is just the number 1. The second element is the set containing 2. So here we have, this set we're looking at here on the right has a couple of sets for elements. The set containing 2 is an element of the set here on the right that I'm kind of waving my arrow over. And the set containing 3 is an element of this set. So the answer is yes. The set containing 3 is an element of this set on the right because there it sits right there with a comma between it and other elements. Does that make sense? You see, the set containing 2 is not an element of this set because there aren't even any sets as elements. But the set containing 3 is an element of this set because there it sits. These curly brackets are like the bag. The elements live inside kind of a bag. You can think of it as an invisible bag. And so this element is a set. It is the set that contains 3 as its element, and it is an element of this set on the right. What about this next question? Is 1 an element of the set containing 1?
No.
No? Well, then what are the elements in this set on the right? If 1's not the element there, what would be? See what I mean? There is just one element. See how these, do you see my cursor going around and around here? Can you
Yeah.
see it?
Yeah, we can.
All right, this is a set. It has the element 1. 1 is, in fact, the only element of this set. 1 is not a subset because 1's not a set, but it is an element of the set that contains 1. Let's look at another one. All right, this asks if the set containing 2 is a subset of this bigger set on the right. So the algorithm that we execute when we're, the steps or procedure that we take when we're trying to discover if a set is a subset of another set is we look at the set on the left and we're asking, does every element in this set on the left sit as an element here in the set on the right? Well, we're checking to see if 2, because 2 is the only element in this set on the left. We're checking to see if 2 is an element of the set on the right. Well, let's take a look. What are the elements of this set on the right? The number 1 is an element. The set containing 2 is an element. The set containing 3 is an element. But the number 2 is not an element, so this set is not a subset of this set on the right, because we don't see a 2 here. Like if after this set containing 3, if there was another comma, if there was like a comma here, and just the number 2, then the answer would be yes. The set containing 2 is a subset of that set, but we don't see the number 2 sitting as an element. We see the set containing 2, but that is not the same as the number 2, and that's what we're checking for. All right, let's go to the next one. Is the set containing 1, this is the set here on the left, a subset of the set that contains 1 and 2? So we check the elements in this set. What are the elements of this set on the left? Sunita, what are the elements of this set on the left here? How many elements are in that set?
1.
That's right. And what is the single element in this set?
It's 1, right?
Yeah, just the number 1. So we go over here to the set on the right and we look and see if we see the number 1 sitting there as an element. And we do. There are other elements, there's the element 2 in there, but all we need is for this single element in this set on the left to appear as an element in the set on the right. That means every element in this set on the left is an element of the set on the right, namely that single element 1. So the answer is yes. The set on the left is a subset of the set on the right. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yeah, but I still need to practice. Yeah, it makes sense for now. Yeah,
Well, we check subset inclusion by checking elements. For example, let's look at L. Again, we're checking to see if the set containing 1 is a subset of this set on the right. So we check the elements inside this set on the left. There's just one element there. And we go over here, we make sure that that is an element here, and there it is. So the set on the left is a subset of the set on the right, because every element in the set on the left is, in fact, an element in the set on the right.
Okay, there we are.
Let's back up. Let's look at this one. This asks if the number 1 is an element of the set containing 1 and the number 2. So do you think 1 is an element of this set on the right? Just the number 1?
no, I think no.
Good. It's not.
Mhm.
Because the number 1 is not the same object as the set containing the number 1. But the set containing 2 would be a subset of this, because 2 is an element of this set on the right, but 1 is not an element of the set on the right. Good. And here's a question. Is the set containing 1 a subset of the set containing 1? Is every element in this set on the left namely 1, an element in the set on the right? Sure it is. The only element is 1, and there it sits. I'm going to stop sharing and we can play this a little bit more. Subset of versus element of. Okay. So let's just play the game. What if we have the set containing 1 and 2? I guess I should ask the question. The question is true or false? Or yes or no? So the statement is the set containing 1 and 2 is a subset of the set containing 1, 2, and 3. So the definition of subset says a set A, we'll call this set on the left A, is a subset of set B, we'll call the set on the right B, if every element that's in A is also an element in set B, okay?
But
So
not the other way around.
review the definition of subset. A is a subset of B means every element in A, in set A, is also an element in set B. Okay? So this can be our A, and this can be our set B. And we're asking, is A a subset of B? Well, we have to check that every element over here in A, because in some sense, this is like a soft less than or equal to symbol. You know how the less than or equal to symbol's pointy, you know? In some sense, if A is a subset of B, A is less than or equal to B because all the elements in A are elements in B. I'm going to pin this. Make sure it shows up. So what do you think, Sunita? Let's check. First, we're going to check the element 1 because it's sitting here in A. Is 1 an element of B?
There is 1.
Good. And how about the 2?
Yeah, there is 2.
So great. We've checked both of these elements of A and they're both in B. So is it true or false to say A is a subset of B? Or the set containing 1 and 2 is a subset of the set containing 1, 2, and 3. Is that true or false?
Uh, it's false.
Why? Why would you say it's false? All the elements in A, namely 1 and 2, are also in B. The definition of subset means every element in A is also an element in B.
So, how would the 3?
The 3 is in B. It's not in A. I'm not saying A is equal to B. I'm saying A is a subset or equal to B.
Okay.
See, so it's true because every element in A is also an element in B.
Oh, okay.
See it? Let's do it. See it. Good. Aha, something just made sense. Now, if we turn it around, is the set containing 1, 2, and 3 a subset of the set containing 1 and 2? True or false?
It's false.
Yeah, it's false, right? And why is it false?
Is the subset, I mean, the A1, like 2 is 3, it's in the 1A, and then the B is like on just 1 and 2.
That's right. 3 is an element of the set containing 1, 2, and 3, but 3 is not an element of the set that only contains 1 and 2. Good. Shall we do a few more?
Yes. Yeah.
Two is an element of the set containing 1, 2, and 3. True or false?
Mm,
Now, element of just means that this object, whatever it is, sits inside these set brackets as an element of this set.
is it true?
Yeah, it's true. Because the set containing 1, 2, and 3 does have 2 as one of its 3 elements. It has 3 elements, and one of them is the number 2. Does that make sense? And because 2 is an element of this set, then we can say the set containing 2 is a subset of the set containing 1, 2, and 3, because 2, sitting here, is also in the set on the right.
Mhm.
Every element in the set, which is curly brackets, 2 curly brackets, namely 2, is also in the set that contains 2 plus a couple of other objects, 1 and 3. Let's try another one. Is the set containing 2 an element of the set that contains the set containing 1 and the set containing 2 and the set containing 3? Is that a true statement or false? This is the object. We're asking if it is an element of, because sets can be elements of other sets. You see this set on the right? It's got 3 elements. They all happen to be sets. One of the elements is the set containing 2, and that's what we're asking. We're asking, is the set containing 2 sitting inside these set brackets as an element? Yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
The set containing these 3 particular elements, this set, has 3 elements, namely the set containing 1, the set containing 2, and the set containing 3. In particular, this one, the set containing 2, is an element of the set that contains the set containing 1, the set containing 2, and the set containing 3. It's one of those 3 elements. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Sets can be elements of other sets.
Oh, okay.
Let me show you an interesting way to build the integers. This is just a fun game. We can build the integers, the positive integers.
Penny, مثلا थोड़ा गिरन के हाथ वाला.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
What did you say? I didn't hear you.
No, I'm sorry. I was like, no, not. I'm sorry. I was on mute. So,
Okay, using sets. All right, let's just think about it. Remember Z plus. That's one of our famous sets. It's the set that's got 1, 2, 3, 4, keep on going. Okay. We can actually represent the elements of Z plus using using sets, in fact, empty sets. This is actually a very special set called the empty set. It's got the curly brackets, but no elements inside. So we can think about that as an object. When we put that empty set inside another set, then we have just built a set with one object in as an element. It's got the empty set as an element. And we can think about this as the number one because there's a set here that's got one element, namely the empty set. Then if we want to build the number two, well, we can build a set that has two elements. This empty set can be the first element, and the set containing the empty set can be the second element. And that is a set with two elements. Then we can build three by oh, sorry. Sorry, I was supposed to have
Yeah, I was looking at the,
yeah, hang on. Hang on.
I think you got
Oh,
one extra.
yeah, I think I got one extra. Hang on. I gotta get my white out. My white out. Gotta have white out. Now wait a second. This will be the first one, this will be the second one. But here's the first set. No, I think I did it right. I think I was right the first time. Okay, I think this is right. It is a way to do it. Um, here's one object and here's the second object. This is just the empty set. This is the set containing the empty set. These two are now elements of this bigger set. It's a set with two elements. Now, if we want to build a set containing three elements, we can use the set containing the empty set.
I have a question
Yeah,
on a second part because I only see like half of the main element set. I've seen a full subset, but like half the
right here,
no
here.
to the no further left on that group. So wouldn't that be like an outer
Let's see. Let me see. Yeah, hang on. Okay, so I'm gonna put. No, I just want the empty set as an element. That's the first element. I think I've got that right.
well, that's not what I'm confused about, but you got that one there and you have
And
like
it's
the
supposed to match up with this one.
okay, fair enough. I didn't know what I was looking at.
Yeah. Oh, it's just a game.
Okay,
Anyway, I just wanted to show you can build the integers just using sets that are empty sets.
right.
Okay. So here's, here's the first element. The second element would be this one. And the third element would be the set that contains both of those. There's three elements in this set. The empty set is element number one. The set containing the empty set is element number two. And this set that contains both of those two sets is element number three. Anyway, you can play all kinds of games. Don't worry, I'm not going to test you on that. I just thought you might find it interesting. It could be helpful to color code these, like like in an editor, like a programming editor. This one goes with this one. See, This is the set that contains these two elements. Those two elements appear separately on their own as the first two elements in this big set that contains three elements. But anyway, maybe I should go back to some more of element of and subset of. So do you want to play some more true false games, or do you want to practice something else just for a little break? How about proper subset? Remember what a proper subset is? Let's review that. Given sets A and B, this is our definition. We say A is a proper subset of B if two things. A is a subset of B, but B is not a subset of A. In other words, every element in A is also an element in B, but B isn't a subset of A. In other words, B has at least one element that's not in A. Let's look at an example. The set containing 1 is a proper subset of the set that contains 1 and some more stuff. Let's say 2. All it takes is one extra element. Does that make sense, Sunita?
Yes, ma'am.
Because the set containing 1 is a subset of the set containing 1 and 2, and the set containing 1 and 2 is not a subset of the set containing 1. See?
Okay, so
Because 2
for substitute. Okay.
is in here, but it's not in
Okay.
an element in here.
Okay.
Does that make sense? I mean, we can do another one. The set containing 1 and 3 is a proper subset of the set containing 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. It's a subset. This set with 1 and 3 in it is a subset of this set containing 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And it's a proper subset because there are elements over here in this bigger set that are not elements in the set containing 1 and 3. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So proper subset is an interesting concept. Here's a game. Do you remember the cross product set? Remember how to build the cross product? We did that last time. Should we review that? Getting some paper.
Yeah, I'm writing down. So
Oh,
everything.
we can review it together.
Yeah, okay.
The cross product is really fun, and it's quite easy. The elements look like ordered pairs. All right, so let's just look at an example. If A has, let's say, little x and little y in it, and B is the set that has 1, 2, and 3 in it, so A's got 2 elements, B's got 3 elements, we can find A cross B. So to find A cross B, we're going to build ordered pairs where the first coordinate comes from the first set, A, and the second coordinates in our ordered pairs come from the second set, B. Remember, we drew a picture on the board? The first thing we do is we choose the first coordinate if the experiment is to build the ordered pairs. And we can use either little x or little y as a first coordinate to choose. Then we have to choose a second coordinate. Well, if we've picked X for our first coordinate, we could pick 1, 2, or 3 as our second coordinate. If we picked Y for our first coordinate, we could still pick 1, 2, or 3 as our second coordinate. And then that means there are 6 different ways to build ordered pairs. You can have an X with a Y for 1 for a second coordinate, or you can have an X with a 2 for a second coordinate, or an X with a 3 for a second coordinate. Or your first coordinate can be Y with a 1 for the second coordinate, or Y with a 2, or Y with a 3. So when we build A cross B, the elements look like X, comma 1. And notice the ordered pairs are constructed using parentheses around the coordinates. So this whole object is a single element of A cross B. It's an ordered pair. Remember that from graphing in high school? That you would have an X coordinate and a Y coordinate, or a first coordinate and a second coordinate. Or we could choose X for a first coordinate because it's an element of A, and we could choose 2 for a second coordinate because the second coordinate has to come from the second set, which is B. Does that make sense? What would be another element in A cross B?
3. X.
X, comma 3. You bet. Okay. So we've got all of the ordered pairs that use X for the first coordinate. We're done with those. What would we do next?
Y, comma 1.
Exactly. Good. Keep going.
And Y, comma 2.
Yeah,
And Y, comma 3.
exactly. And that's the way that we build cross products. Now, if we wanted to find A cross A, it's not going to be as big as A cross B because we only have 2 choices, little x and little y for first coordinates, and we only have 2 choices, same little x and little y, for second coordinates. So if we're going to build A cross A, how many elements do you think will be in A cross A?
There's 3.
Let's see. We can have X or Y for the first coordinate, right? And then we're going to choose the second coordinate, but it's got to come from this set A as well. So it could be an X or a Y if we have X for the first coordinate, or it could be an X or a Y if we have Y for the first coordinate. So you see, it could be X comma X, or X comma Y, or it could be Y comma X, or it could be Y comma Y. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So it's kind of interesting when we have the same for the same set contributing both coordinates. You can do later find B cross A. And you can also find B cross B. So I'll give you a little puzzle problem to think about that you can come to the next office hour and ask about. Here's our little puzzle challenge. Construct 2 sets, call them A and B, that satisfy these properties. So just 2 sets that satisfy all of these properties. Property 1, A is a proper subset of B. And then property 2, A cross B has 12 elements. Verify your choice of A and B, for A and B satisfy both properties. Just as a little fun puzzle. So you can put any elements you want into A and B as long as when you build A and B, A's got to be a proper subset of B. And I'm kind of restricting the size of these sets. I want you to build them so that A cross B has exactly, I'll put the word exactly 12 elements. No more, no less. Exactly 12 elements. So when you think about that, can you think about the different sizes that A and B could be that might work? Let's go back and look at our A cross B from here. A cross B had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 elements because A had 2 elements and B had 3 elements, and 2 times 3 gave us 6 elements, right? When we make the tree. So if we want A cross B to have 12 elements, and we know A has to be a proper subset of B, which means A cannot be as big as B, right? It's got to be a proper subset. So it's going to be smaller than B.
Okay, so
What kind of choices for the sizes of A and B do we have?
maybe A have a 2 and B have a 6.
Yeah, 2 and 6 would work, right? There's another choice of size that would work. A couple other choices, actually. James, can you think of another choice of size for A and B that would work when you're trying to do this puzzle challenge?
A has
Yeah,
3
yeah.
and
It's
4.
3 and 4 and 1 and 12.
3 and 4 and 1 and 12, or
Mhm.
2 and 6,
Yeah, 2
exactly.
and 6, yeah.
Yeah, good. See it? Yeah, 3 and 4 is the most common response that students come up with, but it could be 2 and 6 or 1 and 12. All of the elements would have the same first coordinate if you did 1 and 12, wouldn't
Yep.
they? So just try to think of it as a puzzle, and I'm so glad you came to office hours. I'm going
Okay,
to post this recording and post these notes.
okay.
All right. And
Yep.
the next scheduled office hour in Zoom is Wednesday night at 8. But you can always email me and request an extra one, and if I can do it, I will.
Okay, so is they have like extra tutoring hour?
I'm sorry.
Extra tutoring hour, they offer the tutoring hour?
They're gonna tell us when the schedule is soon. It usually takes them about a week to get off the ground at the tutoring center. But I've
Yeah.
already been in touch with them, and
I feel
because
like I really need a tutoring hour because it makes me like
well,
last.
listen, I had another student who asked me for a private tutor, and I have a former student who was very, very good, and her name is Kai, and she's willing to give private tutoring too. Would you like to email me, Sunita, with your contact information, and I can give it to Kai, or I can give her your information if you want a private tutor as well?
Okay, so should I write in the chat box or I need to email
No,
for the
just send me an email because I need it in writing before I share your contact information, right? I need to kind of cover myself because I'm not allowed just to give out student information to other students without your permission. So if you'll send me an email saying that you're interested in a private tutor and that I have your permission to send your information to another student who does private tutoring, I will send her your information, and she's very interested. I've already talked to her about it.
and so I need to share my like email and the ID, student ID or
No, just send me the email and say it's okay for me to give her your email.
okay,
And
Okay.
then I'll give her your email and you can make arrangements. It's a good, if you're feeling, really shaky, it's a great idea to pay a
Well,
private.
last semester I took statistics class, and at the end, like beginning, I thought I'm gonna fail the class because it was like something different, and then I took all the tutoring hour, and then I got like A, so I'm good now. So on this class also, because this is my like second last semester, I have only one semester left for the graduation, so I don't wanna be longer.
It's super important for you.
Yes, and then so I just need to get in like good grade and then pass the class because
Of course you do. And
yeah,
it's really good to get off on the right foot because it doesn't get easier, right?
yeah,
Everything that we're learning these first few weeks, we're going to be using it later, It really builds and builds. So, but again, there is free tutoring in the Spence Tutoring Lab. It's what is it down in York Road 107, I think. It's either 107 or 105. Um, so there is free tutoring, and they'll have the schedule up. But if you're really feeling, like you want even more dedicated help with somebody that I would recommend. This student made a really good grade in this class with me in the past. Uh, then you can pay a private tutor too. I
like
don't know how much the going rate.
like
I don't know what the going rate is per hour for a private tutor, but if you have the money, it can be really helpful. Plus,
so
I'll give you as many office hours as I can.
yeah, I will attend all the office hours because I really need to. Yeah.
Okay, well, we've covered, I think, most of the main points from class last week. The day one lecture. So it's good. We can do that.
Then also we can watch all the YouTube video from here. Yeah.
Yeah, the videos have other students in them, and for privacy reasons, I'm supposed to take those down at the end of the semester. But I will be posting some short videos that don't have students in them. But this video, since you're in this class, this office hour video, it's going up.
Okay. Okay. So I will look at the video, everything. I just need to get a good
And
grade.
and I'll post these notes.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I'll take a picture of these notes using my cam scanner and I'll get them posted tonight.
And then we have like three tests and final exam and the quizzes, right?
That's right. And plus WebAssign and the Measure Two material that's posted. I already posted the first one.
Yeah,
It's
the
mostly
major,
time, yeah, it's mostly time management and making sure you can find the YouTube channel
yeah.
and the ebook and make
I already
sure.
watch your like YouTube one video. It's in the class, but now I used to have to watch because the from the major two, we have to fill like do all the things and then submit the homework.
You do not have to submit homework. It's the WebAssign, you do it online. The
Mm-hmm.
Measure Two material you don't turn in, just work it. And then if you have any questions on those questions, you come to office hours and ask.
So we don't need submit for that.
You don't
Okay.
submit that, but you should work it as if you were submitting it.
Okay. Okay. I will
And
watch.
and then if you can't do any of the problems, then you come and you ask questions during office hours. Those kinds of questions plus WebAssign type questions will be on the quizzes.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, the problem was when I was doing, Measure Two homework and making these great questions up and having people turn them in, I was just getting, I was getting AI answers. And I'm tired of grading AI. Like it's better for you just to work on them and then let me give you a quiz where I can see, what you can do, not what AI can do. I'm not saying every student did that, but I had a lot of students doing
We
that.
cannot use the AI in the exam, so we should have to understand from
Yeah,
the
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. And yeah, AI is so good though, and people are so worried about their grade, that they feel like, well, I'm going to get the right answer and then I'll study it later kind of thing. No, 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 no. When you know you're having a quiz on something, or that you might have a quiz on it, yeah, you're going to probably do it. All right, so have you worked your WebAssign? Sunita, have you worked the WebAssign for section 1.2 yet?
Yeah, I work a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah. I still have to work 1.2 or 1.1. It was
1.2.
oh, no, no, no.
Well, it's the only section from chapter one that we're doing. We're only doing 1.2 from chapter one because we only need that much to dive into logic.
Okay, so
Okay. The other stuff in chapter one, we'll get to it when we get to it. We just needed to be able to talk about sets and understand like the element of symbol and the subset of symbol. We needed that much information to be able to talk about math at all.
okay, okay, I will look at it and then on the next office hour is the Wednesday, right?
Okay, James, you good?
Yeah, I've been good.
I know. You're good.
I'm just working on the special homework. That's all.
Oh yeah, yeah, the time
Um,
management thing. You'd be
yeah,
surprised how many people have like negative time. They don't have enough time in the week. Are you one of those?
no, I have 80
You got
left.
80 extra hours a week?
Yep.
That's awesome.
Well, I don't have to work. I'm retired military, so
Oh, that's
That's
good.
awesome.
I work
that's why I'm
I work like I have a class Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday I work.
yeah,
Well,
I'll be honest, I tried that. It's not working out. So
yeah,
I re
Sunita, you definitely want to work through the time management exercise in that special homework number one. You definitely want to work through that and see if you've got a realistic schedule
Okay.
because you're going to need 10 hours a week for this class for sure.
Yes, I just yeah. The other class is like this is like more seems more difficult for me because I really need to understand the class. The other class is my like information technology, the major class. So yeah, I can do it, but the math class is like really seems hard.
This is actually more of a logic class
Yes.
than it's not like calculus where you have to do lots of calculations. We're going to learn to think logically and cover every case, and learn how to interpret an English sentence so that when you're talking to a client, you can clarify with them, is that what you really want? This is what you told me you wanted, let me tell you what you told me, you have to be able to think clearly and logically in order to be able to program or design a network or even just work up a project, you know a flow chart. You have to be able to think logically. So this course is supposed to help you learn to think logically.
Okay. I'll try my best.
I know. Thank you. And thanks for requesting an office hour. Otherwise, we wouldn't have met tonight because I didn't, you were like right on that. You were like, yeah, man, I want one. That was great. All
Okay.
right.
Yeah, I just want every office hour.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, it was just because it's the first week. No, normally I'll just be in the Zoom. I will always be there on Mondays, on Wednesdays and Sundays. Okay.
I will join Wednesday also.
All right. You
Thank
can
you.
always request an appointment too.
Thank
All right.
you so much
uh,
for your time. Have a good night.
have a
Good
good night.
night.
Yeah.
Good night.
Bye bye.
Bye.